Oh my god, this movie was amazing.
Fuck was that?
That was one of the worst fucking things I've seen all year.
Oh, in case you can't tell, my voice is lost from laughing too hard.
He busted a gasket, guys. Oh, shit. No.
My voice is lost from being sick, in case you couldn't tell. And boy, this movie gave me a perfect opportunity for me to get my voice back because I didn't make a goddamn fucking sound. Fuck, I sound like... You know what? It's appropriate I sound like a prepubescent kid having come out of this fucking movie.
He's seriously like...
I sound like Will Arnett going through puberty. What the fuck was that? Christ!
That is why... That is a perfect example of why Family Guy is A, 22 minutes long, and B, a cartoon, and C, not in a fucking movie theater.
And D, past its goddamn fucking prime. This movie is everything, every goddamn thing that's wrong with seasons 4 and beyond of Family Guy. And I liked Ted. I don't even really have any hatred for Seth MacFarlane. I think Seth MacFarlane can do good stuff. Fuck all, this isn't one of them.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't write, direct, produce, and star in. He wears all the hats.
Yeah. Jillian called dibs on this movie. Like, when the trailers first came out, honestly, even from the trailers, I didn't think it looked terrible, because I did like Ted. When I went to go see Ted, I was like, all right, Ted honestly reminds me why I kind of like this guy, because it reminded me of the first few seasons of Family Guy. I can still watch episodes from the first few seasons of that show, when it was quick, when it was really rapid pace, when it was not that fucking anti-humor shit it's been doing the past 10 years. I can sit down and watch that. And that's what Ted reminded me of. This movie... This is
the fucking Cleveland show of movies.
In the Old West. It's 2 hours of The West is Dangerous.
It's 2 full fucking hours.
It feels every minute of those 2 hours. Every goddamn minute. When Brian... There was a point in this movie which it was probably at the 90-minute point when he and Neil Patrick Harris were having their duel. I thought that was the climax. It keeps going.
Nope.
And going
then
and going.
Then it kicks into the side plot and fleshes it out into a full, plot.
Yeah, you get an acid trip in there with Indians to appease the fan base that'll go there high, which by that point in the movie, their buzz will be fucking gone.
Yeah, fuck, seriously. Unless you're chiefing in the theater, fucking nothing is gonna carry you.
There is no reason for that entire sequence with him and the Indian. None. Other than, well, it's kind of cool seeing Wes Studi in a movie again. Other than that... What the fuck, man? I don't even... This is fucking...
It is seriously fucking live action Family Guy. It's fucking caricatures of people. Everything is fucking wildly over exaggerated.
No, you know
They try their best to even do fucking random tangents and shit like they do in the fucking show.
Oh yeah.
Literally we'll just have him walk off in the middle of a conversation to show something else and then walk back to where they were to keep having the conversation.
Every scene in this movie just ends. Just ends.
There are things they'll do the setup to a joke. There's this scene partway through where Charlize Theron slips something into puts some kind of powder or something in a glass, and then has a drinking contest with Neil Patrick Harris, and then 20 minutes later it shows the payoff to that. Which, by the way, 20 minutes later in this movie is 10 scenes later,
Yeah.
we get to the payoff for this, and like suddenly he has the shits. It's like, was that from before? Because we never saw what that was fucking about. There was no setup. Like, it wasn't like she was like holding a bag that says, "We'll make you shit yourself" powder, so that we know what she's doing. She's like, sprinkle. I'm like, all right, whatever. She's like,
oh, in this movie,
I thought like maybe she's roofing him or fucking something.
in this movie, I knew it was gonna be a shit joke. I just didn't know when it was gonna happen.
This whole fucking movie's a shit joke.
Yeah,
A really fucking shitty joke.
You and I looked at each other so goddamn much in this fucking thing. Like,
Let me say, like,
what was that?
fuck?
What was that? And like, what was the? It was when the dad like shit himself in the background. Ow! It came out my dick, and I could hear Brian next to me. What am I watching? It was insane. What was that? There were just things just end. Things just like suddenly a dog comes up to him with the severed foot of the mayor, and the scene ends with Seth MacFarlane throwing it away, and you hear it crash through a window.
Throws it off screen, and then you hear crash, and then
Crash.
and you're like, oh shit, let's leave the scene.
The scene. That's it. Scene. You know that part in the trailer where the ice falls on the guy's head? Bam! Oh my god, that just happened! Scene!
Things happen, and then they just stop happening.
Yeah! What? I don't get... Fuck!
It's so fucking spastic. It is the kind of like cutaways you can get away with in a fucking TV show, in a fucking cartoon. When it's a fucking movie, it doesn't work.
This movie is...
It's a series of vignettes. It's a series of like 30-second vignettes. Like 500 of them.
Yeah, loosely put together. That's why it feels so long, because...
You can edit this into any order and it would still make sense.
Oh, yeah. You absolutely could. And you know what? That would be one thing if it were funny. It's not the best this movie got out of me. Was a couple of chuckles, not really so much at the writing, more so...
Yeah, not laughing at the jokes.
Neil Patrick Harris is, he made me chuckle a couple of times because of the way he delivers some of his lines kind of made me chuckle, and the image of seeing him there in a bowler hat and a goofy mustache, you chuckle at when you first see that. And I laughed when... the only time where I legitimately laughed was when Amanda Seyfried was getting self-conscious about her eyes, and she said to Neil Patrick Harris, I don't have buggy eyes, do I? And he goes, no, darling, you got eyes like a Chinaman. Okay, that got me.
Got you in the sweet spot.
that got me. That one did. That's legitimately the only goddamn time.
Yeah, it's a clip show of things happening. Like, the camera work is all over the fucking place. But most of the time, things are framed like this should have been like a fucking stage production.
Yeah, it looks, because it's shot
really odd. Everything is shot from like a kind of like mid-distance shot with just one person standing in the dead center of the screen. That is almost every shot in this movie. Because
of how heavily... because it's filmed so digitally on the cameras that they use, it looks... you know what? I'm sure this movie probably had a fairly decent budget. You can't tell by the way that this movie's framed. You can't tell by the color. You can't... I am sure...
Like, half the time, like, when Seth MacFarlane's, like, standing in the middle of the street, it looks like he's standing in front of a fucking green screen.
It looks like Cannibal the Musical. This movie looks like it... People have been saying Blazing Saddles. No, this movie... And I like Cannibal the Musical.
Well, they stole the opening credits.
They did, yeah. But, like, this movie feels more like it takes place in the same universe as Cannibal the Musical. And I like that movie. That's a better movie than this.
Which honestly surprises me that this one didn't have, like, big fucking musical numbers.
I'm so glad because then it really would have been 2.5 hours long.
Well, true.
Holy shit. And not to mention, if this movie is... if you could compare this in any way, shape, or form to Blazing Saddles, it's just to say, imagine Blazing Saddles if they explained every goddamn joke. Every joke. They fucking stop and explain it to you in this goddamn thing. It's that Family Guy shtick. Modern Family Guy. Not back in the first few seasons. Modern Alex Sulkin Family Guy. Where someone will say a joke, and then Peter will say, that means he's racist. Or shit like that. That's this fucking movie. That's the entirety of this goddamn fucking movie.
Well, it really wants to make sure that you're not getting lost. Because
thank God.
It's pretty complex.
Yeah. It's a complex fucking movie.
I love that there are two, like, there are cameos throughout, and none of them make any sense. And I know that might be part of the point, but some of them really make no
Was that Ryan
sense.
Reynolds?
Yes, Ryan Reynolds is in a scene as guy who shrugs and has no lines. It just pans over to him it's like Liam Neeson is like staring down this entire bar, like wanting to know like who was messing around with his wife, and he's like, do you know? And he's like, gets shot, dies. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I was sitting there like I lean over to Letty, like, was that fucking Ryan Reynolds?
I could hear you guys lean over. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, was that what? One of the few people who got a couple chuckles out of me was randomly Ralph Garman is one of the guys in the crowd who just frequently shouts something out at him. And it only made me chuckle just because it was Ralph Garman. Doc Brown.
Well, but him, like, in the crowd shouting shit for me, that was right up there with, like, fucking Rob Schneider from Waterboy.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, except more R-rated.
Well, yeah.
But Doc Brown, you know what, that gag might have been okay if two things. One, they didn't spoil it in the trailer. And the whole scene is in the trailer.
Yeah, you watch the trailer where it has that scene where it shows him walking into the barn and like Doc Brown's in there like trying to cover up the DeLorean. That's the entire scene. And again, that's how this entire movie is. Like, it's like he's like out in the street and sees the barn from the outside kind of like sparking. He's like, "What the hell?" Opens the door. Doc Brown, yeah,
it's a weather experiment. Like
and he's like, "Oh, okay." Closes the door. That's it. That's the whole fucking bit.
That scene could have gone anywhere in the movie. That could have been earlier when he was walking around drunk. That could have been when he was walking around.
It would have made more sense in that scene earlier when he was drunk.
Yeah. It seriously could have been anywhere. And that scene also could have worked if, like Allison said when we were talking about it in the Neighbors video, if throughout the movie you could just see the events of Back to the Future 3 happening in the background. That might have been kind of clever. Like, you and I thought the same thing when the train went by in that.
Yeah.
You could have put the DeLorean right in front of the fucking train.
Yeah, there's a scene, like, not too long after the whole Doc Brown bit, where he's racing ahead of, like Liam Neeson and his group of bandits, and he beats them by crossing the train tracks right as the locomotive's passing by. Which... that would have been a perfect fucking time to just, like, have the DeLorean strapped to the front of the fucking train.
Uh-huh.
It would have actually made it more of a joke whenever, like, you know, like Liam Neeson was talking about, like, it's like, oh, he's on the train. It'll come back. Like, because, you know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, that would have made it make more fucking sense. It would have made it an actual fucking joke, not just, like, okay, he beat him to the train, I guess. Like...
I honestly, like, the whole last half hour of this movie could have been cut. You could have had, right after his shit duel with Neil Patrick Harris, you could have had Liam Neeson come in there, and the two of them could have done their duel in the street, and the movie could have just fucking been over with. That's what I thought was gonna fucking happen. And it didn't. What the fuck?
I was thinking, like, a little bit of creative editing, and you can completely take Liam Neeson out of this movie. The couple scenes that he's actually in, and like that entire like last part,
he's only in like 5 minutes of this movie.
Can be excised. Whenever like she and that other guy from his crew get to town, they keep up that ruse, but if you cut out basically cut out everything after he gets arrested,
Honestly, if you did that,
then there's no clue anything else is going on, and then it's just there's their fucking movie.
if you did that, if you made a cut of this movie that was that, and you trimmed out all the random other bullshit and shtick in it, you know what? This might not be half bad. It really won't, because I can say some nice things about it if I try. The acting, I don't think is that bad, really. Honestly, when Seth MacFarlane is not doing, like, over-the-top shtick like the Tarzan boy thing at the end of it,
Yeah.
when he's not doing stuff like that, and when he's just kind of interacting with Charlize Theron, I thought he was fine. I thought the two of them had good chemistry.
Yeah,
I honestly thought he was charming in those scenes.
He did it. He did a serviceable job. I won't begrudge him that, but he's definitely not lead man material.
Well, I think if you really put him in something that was...
If you put him in something that he didn't fucking write, direct, and
Sure.
produce.
If you put him in something that's more... I don't... Because in those scenes with him and Charlize Theron, he is really charming. He is likable.
But yeah,
he is charismatic.
If you put him in a movie that's a comedy, but just a normal fucking comedy.
I could picture him in like a Woody Allen type thing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, or even like something like a comedy that's trying to play it more natural, like shit like fucking Delivery Man or something like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like a fucking if Vince Vaughn could do it, he could do it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because there are parts when he's not.
When he's being he's being a person,
Yeah.
not a character.
Oh yeah, and not Brian Griffin.
Yeah.
And not, because really that's, yeah, when he's doing stuff like the Tarzan boy thing, like the, hey, look, the shadow looks like you're sucking my dick. That's Brian Griffin. That's it. But yeah, when he's being perfectly normal, I thought he was fine. I thought Charlize Theron was fine. Giovanni Ribisi, I thought was good.
He was Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah, the only problem with that is the joke is that he is engaged to a hooker and they want to wait until they're married, even though her job is that she has sex all the time. Ha ha ha.
And he treats it like it's just a normal job.
That's the joke through the whole movie. There's really no payoff.
It's not like a one-off joke or something like that. No, it comes up a lot.
Yeah, and it's the same joke. The same joke. Every fucking time. It's them talking about having a date. He's like, oh, I might not have enough money. No, she's going to do anal tonight for Henry upstairs. Okay. And then later on, she's like, ooh, we can't have sex. We're not married yet. Guy up on the balcony, hey, get up here so we can fuck. He goes to kiss her on the cheek, but she's got semen on her. That's the same fucking joke throughout. Which, goddamn it, it really does a kind of a disservice to some of these actors because performance-wise, they're fine. They are fine. It's just a stupid joke. Liam Neeson is fine, but he's just not used any in the movie.
He's just in the wrong movie.
Yeah, he's Liam Neeson in this movie. He is, like... He acts no different in this than if he were playing a gunslinger in a drama western. Which admittedly would work if he was in the whole thing. He's only in like 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, no, he's to this movie what Fichtner was to Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Way too good for it, and the character's in the wrong fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Belding popped up in one scene. You know, the guy...
That was a blast from the past.
What the fuck? You know, the guy you see in the trailer who gets run over by the bull at the fair, and that's him. Oh, yeah. Hit by bull, runs off, scene. People die at the fair? People die at the fair. Man.
But yeah, it's just, you can tell that it's something he did because every single joke in there you could picture happening in Family Guy. It's there's a guy taking like the old time like photos of like little like has like the powder.
Yeah.
and he goes to take a photo and just instantly bursts into flames, and then it looks over and like the people he was taking a picture of are also on fire, and then someone just stands up and shoots them all and they're dead. That's it.
Yeah, and there's really no funny reaction to it other than, oh my god, that's a thing that happened.
Oh my god, they died.
Yeah.
And then they just walk the fuck off.
And look, I like random humor. I do. I enjoy an episode of American Dad because I like random humor. But that's better than this.
Well, and that's the thing, like a joke like that that's just surprise out of nowhere can really catch you off guard and really make for a good scene.
It can.
But when that's every joke in the movie is, bam, something fucking unexpected happened.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's his reaction to every scene in this movie is, oh my god! A thing just happened that I hadn't expected to happen. Meh!
And the running joke, too, about people not smiling in pictures. Isn't it funny because it's the Old West, even though we're making this in modern times? I got married to him when I was 9 years old. We had sex when I was 10. Oh, he waited a year? I rounded up. That was weird. Thanks, movie, for making me picture Liam Neeson fucking a 9-year-old.
Yeah, it's just this movie, it honestly, the biggest thing, and I know we keep beating around the whole fucking like it's like Family Guy, but really this movie strikes me like he was writing an episode for like Family Guy or American Dad or fucking something, and thought, but if I keep adding jokes, it keeps getting longer, and now it's the length of a movie.
That's,
like,
yeah.
This seems like what an episode of Family Guy would be if there weren't editors and time constraints.
Or, yeah.
Like, if they just let an episode go, this is what you get.
And
this is what you
with a
end up
hard R without TV censors, because it's not funny enough that he can't just be hiding amongst some sheep. No, one has to piss on his face. That way, in the fucking acid trip scene, you can have sheep with their dicks all hanging out and making a fountain out of piss. That's it. Look, I like a good fart joke when it's good. I can laugh at a good fart joke. Hell, I can laugh at just stupid fart jokes. I can. Not when it's just, hey, let's just put it there because what the fuck? Because we can get away with it in this fucking movie. We can get away with showing a sheep cock.
But what about the 5-minute Neil Patrick Harris shitting into different hats bit?
You know what would have made that funny? One, if it was Jeff Daniels and it was Dumb and Dumber. Because that's the king of those jokes. And two, because I was hoping they were going to end the scene like this. If he had really clumsily went back and put it back on the guy's head. Do you know what? I don't know if that would have made me laugh, but it would have been a payoff.
The only thing I liked about this, okay, it's, again, like 3 scenes after the whole, like, oh my god, he has, like, diarrhea or something now because of Charlize Theron. It's like the next fucking day. And he looks like shit, and he's walking around. They're about to have, like, a big, like, duel in the streets. And, he is, like, suddenly, like, all kinds of stomach noises and fart sounds. Like, oh no, I'm about to shit in the street. So he grabs some dude's hat and proceeds to just keep shitting in it, and shitting in it, and shitting in it.
Yeah. And
it's showing, like, every fucking body in the movie having reaction shots to it. And then it cuts back and he's still shitting in it. But it's very, like it's not, it's, the sound is all there, but it's not, like, graphic. Like, you're not seeing, like shit, like, spraying out or, like, leaking out of the hat or anything like that. And then, like, okay. Then they start moving on to, oh no, his stomach again. And then him, like the one thing I liked about that scene was that old guy whose hat he tried to take next, who just kept, like, half-heartedly, just half-assedly trying to, like, he kept, like, reaching for the dude's hat, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop. And then he does more shitting in it. And then they're like, oh my god, it's still going on. And then he's finally done. And as he starts to step away, he bumps one of the hats with his foot. And then it cuts to like a tight zoom. And it looks like it shows that the hat just tip over and like it looks like a bucket full of like
it's like
chocolate
chili
syrup and chili comes running out.
He just knocked over a hat full of Joes.
Right?
It probably tastes fucking better.
That honestly, like after how non-graphic the whole scene was, just having that little bit in there at the end showing the hat tipping out and like shit falling everywhere.
It looked like it was an awkward insert.
Yeah.
It was like an awkward porn insert. Like, if you were watching some movie and then you see some other version that inserts porn shots into it. That's how awkward the splice was. And it was quick, too. It didn't really linger on it that long, but it was just so tight and awkward. What the fuck was this movie?
It's like they needed another reaction in there and they didn't know what else to do, so like, all right, we'll have Unit B film like a hat getting kicked over, and they'll put it. Oh, sounds from the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it's so quick. It's just like a second, maybe two shots. Just like hat, and that's it. And then everyone keeps acting like nothing fucking happened immediately following that.
Yeah, they all just go on about their ways and shit. That's this whole movie. Like, when he first goes to his house at the beginning of it, and his parents are sitting in the same spots they sit in through the whole movie, and his dad is like, "You're late!" Seth MacFarlane's like, "Late for what? I'm not late for anything." And he goes, "Oh, that's true." Scene!
That's it. Cuts to the next fucking day.
It does. Time was really weird in this too. Like, there was a point like where like Seth MacFarlane gets in a bar fight early in the movie. Well, you know what? That's actually real quick tangent. That's another thing. That's another positive thing I'll give about his performance. His physical performance was good in this. In terms of physical comedy, he was good at that.
Yeah.
But. So yeah, he gets thrown out of a bar in this, and so he's got a big gash on there, and then when you see him in the next scene, the gash is gone.
Completely gone.
It's completely gone, but then Giovanni Ribisi implies that it's like a week later. If he hadn't have said that, I would have thought it was the next fucking day.
Yeah. Well, but even at that, like, a week later, it's like, fuck, we're not gonna we can't have him have this for the rest of the fucking movie.
Yeah. The whole goddamn movie is like that. Like, a week will just go by like that in a montage. A montage that looks like it's all in the same day. Because they all wear the same... You know what? It's probably because they all wear the same fucking clothes throughout the goddamn thing. You know, that works in a fucking cartoon.
Yeah. Like, oh, what should we have Peter wearing? I don't know. White shirt, green pants. Good, go with it.
What do we have Seth wear in this movie? I don't know. Let's give him a vest, shirt, pants. Good. He'll wear it through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, it made it really hard to tell.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But again, it's the same sort of thing as like Charlize Theron has like a couple different like skirts that she wears throughout the movie. But with the weird fucking way this is all chopped up and just like, is that like everything feels like it's like a 30-second scene.
Yeah.
It's impossible to tell like is this on a different day and she's wearing that skirt again, or was this scene supposed to be earlier in the fucking film and they re-edited everything to be in a different fucking order?
Maybe that's why everybody's wearing the same thing. It just made it really easy.
Makes it really easy to edit when no one looks fucking
That's
different.
Genius! Why didn't I ever think of that? Wait, oh, did I get some schmutz on you?
Yeah, oh, no. My cup's sweating more than I am.
You want me to roll your window down?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you, Daddy.
What did you think of... No problem, sugar. What did you think? Because Letty said that she thought...
Letty fucking loathed
Oh, my God.
I've never seen her so mad at a movie.
Oh, really? Because didn't she ditch you guys after Grown Ups 2?
On the way out, she actually said that she would rather watch Grown Ups 2 again than sit through this.
What did you think compared to Grown Ups 2?
They're equally bad in weird fucking ways. I honestly don't know which one I would rather sit through again.
I thought this was because I didn't see Grown Ups 2, but I saw Blended. I thought this was better than Blended, because this, at least I think, could be edited down into something that's not as bad. Blended, no.
But like this,
I also
it falls victim to a lot of the same shit that Grown Ups 2 had, where it's like every fucking joke they could come up with, they put in there, even if it made no fucking sense.
Yeah, I can see from what you guys said about that. I can see that.
Yeah, they didn't find a joke in the script they didn't fucking like.
Letty was so mad when she went to go get a refill at concessions. She asked the girl to put rum in it.
She wouldn't even talk to us. I'm like, say, honey. She's like, just sitting there, like, facing the other way, just nope.
By the way, yeah, I mentioned earlier, like, Jillian called dibs on this when she first saw the trailer for it. And Jillian was gonna come see this, but she caught what I had last weekend. I know I sound like death right now, but it's just, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just leftovers. Leftovers from being sick. But anyway, Jillian had what I had. And so she's at home sick right now. So it was just today that I texted Brian.
Yeah, it was like 10, 11 o'clock. I get a text like, hey, want to do this one tonight? I'm like, sure, why not? It seemed harmless enough of a movie. Boy, that was fucking
Fucking Christ.
I was expecting, like, if it's mediocre, it'll be passingly mediocre. Like, it'll be like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, this is bad. It's really bad.
But it's also uniquely bad. It is. Because the bad comedies I've seen this year, Blended, Mom's Night Out, Nut Job, a few others, they're bad. They're really bad. This one is confusingly bad. This is like you sit there and you're like, what in God's name were they thinking, and why the fuck didn't he hire an editor?
Yeah, I mean, this is just... This really comes across like it's inept. That's what it is. It's like, they could have made a more streamlined cut of this movie, and they decided, people like dick jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And they left it all in.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's an extended cut to this, I don't know what the fuck they would add except more dick jokes.
I don't know. I'm not kidding. This movie is only this movie is 2 hours long. I seriously thought it was fucking longer. This movie feels like it's too easily 2.5 hours.
Well, and that's my thing. Like, whenever like you asked me about this one, I'm like, it's like, okay, well, it's just like a stupid like sophomore comedy. Like, I figured 90 minutes fucking tops.
90 minutes is what Dave and Sarah's movie is. Maleficent's 90 minutes.
I figured theirs was going to be longer than... I figured theirs was going to be like 2.5 fucking hours or some shit.
Ours is a half hour longer.
How the fuck does that
work? Ours is a fucking half hour longer than that movie. Than the epic Sleeping Beauty movie. The shit joke Western is longer. Sucks, man. This movie sucks. Well, you saw X-Men. What'd you think of X-Men?
X-Men was really good. I liked that a lot. Fucking Evan Peters killed it, man.
Yeah. Holy shit. The scene, the slow motion, fast motion scene.
Fucking playing like Time in a Bottle.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I fucking
moving bullets
love that
and shit. Oh fuck. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this on the video because last week I got yelled at in the comments for not having a comic book person in the video. So it's seriously me and Jillian like, who is that person after the credits?
Yeah, that was my bad. My radiator kind of blew up twice in 1 week. So
you got to miss out on Blended though. I mean,
well, yeah, but it was the sort of situation like, okay, we'll see Blended, and then we'll go see X-Men. I'm like, I'll be okay with that.
Uh-huh.
And then my fucking radiator gave out and decided to like throw up neon green coolant all over the fucking road.
Did you buy it from the old Nickelodeon studios?
Well, they asked me what kind of coolant. I was like, I don't know.
God damn it.
Yeah!
I like that joke. That was good.
That took so much less effort than anything in that movie.
Fuck me, man. Holy shit. I loved it in X-Men 2, how it's tied into the JFK assassination.
There was a lot of good stuff they did with that one. Like, I genuinely approve of it. Like, there were a couple nitpicks I had with it.
Like what? Like being from, like, having read the comics, like, what kind did you have?
A lot of it was just, like, they put too many characters in it, I thought.
Oh, okay.
People were complaining about too many fucking characters in Spider-Man. But they have no problem with it in fucking X-Men. Like, okay, whatever. Like, so much
You know
like,
what? I gotta go along with that, though, because I had more of a problem with that in Spider-Man than this.
Well, cause like they set up a scene of like, it's like, here's a bunch of characters, some from the, the last movie, others that we're introducing so they can be in the next movie. And then it's like, okay, they get on a plane and leave Vietnam. Bye. Yeah. I kept waiting for them to come back. No. Or just like characters like some of them that were in there made no sense.
I was, but some people were talking about, maybe you could answer this. In fact, I think Spoonie and April mentioned this. I think they said, like, since when did Kitty Pryde ever have that power? Or was that ever in the comics that she could do that?
Not really. They did that because it was a switch around. Like, in the original comic story, it's in the future, Catherine Pryde.
Oh, okay.
As she goes by in the future because she's an adult. She's the one who gets sent back into her younger body.
Okay.
To warn them about everything. But since it's Wolverine and his friends, the X-Men movie series.
Since Wolverine's more marketable.
Yeah.
You know what? They did give a good reason for it, though. It wasn't just, all right, Wolverine, you go do it. Plus, he did give a reason. He was like, well, my brain won't collapse in and of itself if...
Well, and if they would have sent, Ellen Page back, she would have been a twinkle in someone's eye in 1973.
That's true. Yeah. Well, in the comics, how many years back did they go?
Off the top of my head, I can't recall right off. But no, like, some of it just didn't make sense to me. Just like certain characters they put in there. One of the characters they had was a character from the Young X-Men series, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
Who it's not even his power. It's someone else, like an actual mutant, had the power to, like, anything he tattooed would, like, whatever it was, like, you got that power.
What was he at in the movie?
He was in the Vietnam part.
It
briefly
okay.
shows him, like, he's got, like, a bunch of tattoos, like, on his face.
That's right, okay.
Like one of the tattoos he has is like a biohazard symbol on his palm.
Yeah.
So whenever he touches somebody with that, they get really sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stuff like that, but like a lot of the powers that he has, because again, he's not a mutant himself. It's the guy who gave him the tattoos.
Yeah.
Who was the mutant. But a lot of the tattoos he had are ones that he got to copy other X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on one of his hands, it's got, like, a bunch of stripes on it, so that it looks like Colossus's hand. So that hand is really strong.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it takes place before Colossus is even probably alive.
Yeah.
In 1973. Or, if anything, he's, like, a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
So... that would make no sense that he would have that. Plus, in the movie, like, Colossus doesn't have, like the kind of, like, striped, like, slatted skin like that. It's just smooth. So, again, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
He's got, like, thunderbolts on the side of his head because he looked like an old issue of X-Men. That makes no sense in the book, but go with it. The X-Men comics exist inside the X-Men comics.
Nice.
and there's like a picture of like Professor X like doing his like mind stuff, and it shows like little like staticky lines around his head. That's how they used to show that he was doing stuff.
Yeah.
So he put some like those lines on his head so he could have psychic powers, shit like that. Like he has a tattoo of the Phoenix on his face so that he can have the same powers as the Phoenix, which they didn't introduce until X2,
Yeah.
going into like, you know, X-Men 3 The Last Stand. So how would he know about that in 1973? It's shit like
Drugs.
that. Drugs, man. But no, it's shit like that. Like, it bugged me. Like, this is one of those things that's like, none of this makes sense.
But at the end of the day, Fassbender moves a giant stadium and threatens Nixon.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll watch this.
At the end of the day, Fassbender's doing cool shit.
Like I said, like anything I have is just like it's such a minor little like pissy thing. Like it's not even that big of a deal, but it's like it's the stuff that you notice, and it just like,
But it's also, and that's why I wanted to bring it up too in this video, and it's also the kind of thing that not in a million years would Jillian and I reviewing it have ever picked up on.
like there was nice stuff, because like usually I hate when movies do like too many fucking like in jokes for the fans, but some of them in this I thought were like handled nicely. Like the fact that they never even really bring up the fact that like Quicksilver is supposed to be Magneto's son.
Yeah.
Like in the books.
Oh, okay.
In this, like, you know, like he's young enough that yeah, technically Fassbender could be his dad.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he like at one point like he asks him what he can do, and like he's like, oh, you know, magnetic shit. And he's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, my mom used to know a guy that could do stuff like that. It's like kind of like one of those like,
Oh, okay.
wait, are you my dad? kind of scenes, but like they don't like expound upon it. He's like just like kind of says that, kind of looks at him weird for a second, like, yeah. And then he's like, that's it. That's the whole reference.
What, damn, excuse me. I had to cough. I forgot what I was gonna say. What did you think of it compared to First Class?
I thought it did a good job keeping in line with it, and also fixing a lot of the unfixable problems from like the original 3 X-Men movies. Kind of getting everything like back on like one track where they can actually move forward with it again.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask. What did you think of all that fucking carnage at the end of it? Heads popped off, people broke in half, Chunk, Storm dead.
Yeah, they
Holy shit!
they really didn't feel like pulling back on any of that
Dude,
shit.
if those things bled, that would have been a scene out of 300 Rise of an Empire.
Yeah, some of that was like, it's like, that's cool that they got some of these people back to reprise their roles, but then it's like, Halle Berry came back just to get stabbed.
Yeah. Hi, Halle Berry.
Like, well, there she goes.
That's been our review of X-Men Days of Future Past. Go see it over... Oh, I almost said Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah, stay fucking home. Watch fucking Once Upon a Time in the West instead of Million Ways to Die in the West.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's really good. In fact, stay home and watch 8 Million Ways to Die with Jeff Bridges and Andy Garcia. Much better fucking movie than A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Stay home and just watch anything else. Like, fuck, it. By the time you're watching this, it'll be Friday. Afternoon-ish, I'm assuming, because you have jobs or
Yeah.
are sleeping in. Yeah, watch whatever's on fucking TV. I don't even know what's on Fridays anymore.
So would you not recommend this in any way, shape, or form? Like, not even, like, Netflix, TV, or anything like that?
Not even high would I recommend this. As in, not even if I was really high, or if you, the viewer, were really high wanting to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of those work. Okay, there's one demographic out there that I think will fucking love this movie. 10 to 12-year-olds will fucking love this
Yeah.
because your parents are terrible parents that let you watch shit like this.
Yeah, I agree with what he fucking said. It's like I said earlier, you know what? If you made a severely condensed version of this fucking movie, I would say like, yeah, okay, maybe Netflix and see what that is like. I don't know. As it is right now, it's got too many annoying ass goddamn problems in it. Like, if you really still love modern as in like last 10 years of Family Guy, you will probably like this. You probably will. If you like...
If you TiVo all like the Seth MacFarlane shows, you'll love this.
And that's because I think he is a talented guy. I think he can be a good writer. I think he can be a good director. I've seen him act in stuff other than this where he is fine. I think he's a good voice actor. I think he's got a really good voice. He can be good, but
he needs someone else there to tell him when enough is a fucking enough.
do you think that this was a situation to where Ted was such a big hit that they just let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to in this movie?
Yes.
That would not
That's
surprise
not even
me.
a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is his Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate. A better Western than this.
Honestly, the way this thing is fucking shot, this isn't even his Heaven's Gate. This is his Inland Empire.
No, this is his Lightning Jack.
Well, because that's the thing I kept thinking of more than anything while watching this was fucking Inland Empire.
Yeah.
It's a series of stuff filmed just with random fucking actors that has nothing to do with anything else around it, but they smushed it all together so it looked like it had a fucking plot.
Yeah.
That's what this movie was.
Yeah. Yeah. But without creepy Laura Dern face. Ah, Jesus. I think Letty's dead.
She died.
I could hear her. Oh, I forgot. We got the windows rolled down.
Yeah, so she flipped us off.
No, she's just quoting that hilarious part in the movie where a random guy in the background flipped dude off.
No, it's like, what's the matter with you, Stark? You yell. I was like, oh, I think that's kind of racist to our hardworking Chinese friends over here. They're like, fuck you.
I turned the camera over, but she's off-screen Letty. You going next week for the Tom Cruise movie?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
That looks so much better than this shit.
Fuck yeah, man.
I need to see a good movie, man.
We'll go see Edge of Tomorrow
Oh my
next
God.
week. I don't know what the other fucking movie is next week. Whatever it is, we ain't gonna be at it.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
This movie sucks. Bye.
Go watch X-Men.